Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
Big Knicks, big tricks. 116-94, holding off them Raptors to 100 points, below 100 points. Ain't playing with y'all. NBA.com, that's a weak-ass profile pic. You couldn't put up a picture from the game today after this ass whooping we put up out here, huh? Big Knicks. Here we go. Raptors ended up with 4 guys in double figures, so Scotty Barnes ended up scoring what? Is it 10 in the fourth quarter? I mean, excuse me, Brandon Ingram ended up scoring 6 in the fourth quarter. He ended up with 14 in total, 4 assists, 2 of 5 from 3, 4 of 11 from the field. He really had a bad first quarter, especially 5 turnovers for him. 18 points for Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes, I will not mention what Fleet discovered today about him. That is hilarious. Scotty Barnes, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 4 personal fouls. He was a little trouble out there. 19 points for Emmanuel Quickley. Solid day, 7 of 14 from the field, 4 of 10 from 3. 2 or 3 of those from the top of the key, which I said don't leave them open from the top of the key, and they kept doing that. 11 points for Colin Murray. Boy, was off the bench. And minus 22 for Brandon Ingram. That's tough to deal with, one of your stars. And they're dealing, of course, with the absence of R.J. Barrett. I think Jakob Poeltl. But let's get to it. Big Knicks. Mikal Bridges, 14 points. I didn't even care about his points tonight because he was really good defensively. Missed a wide open transition layup, but it's neither here nor there. 3 assists. Drove to the basket a couple of times, so I loved about him. Yeah, he did end up with 5 fouls. It looked like it. I spotted it. It was just, I thought it was a ticky-tack foul the last one that he got. 20 points for Josh Hart. 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. Where is ALLBALL? The people want to know.
Josh Hart.
22 from the big cat. Not mad lying. There's a little line in him today. 8 rebounds, no blocks, 8 of 15 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. He had 7 free throws. Jalen Brunson, 18 points, 6 of 19 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 7 assists. What a stat line from Jalen Brunson with that win, a blowout win. 18 points, 6 of 19 from the field. Love today's game. That's what speaks volumes in a blowout victory. Jalen Brunson's stat line. We'll get to that in a second. 14 for McBride, who started today. They benched Mitchell Robinson. We will definitely chat about that in a second. 13 for Jordan Clarkson off the bench. He was a -3 and a plus-minus. 2 points for Mitchell Robinson, but of course the 15 big rebounds. 7 of them more offensive, not playing any games, flat out dominant on that end. And Kolek with some decent minutes. But of course the bench player, aside from Mitchell Robinson, who stood out tonight. Come on, man. Come on. Big BBL. Yabu. 9 minutes, damn near 10 minutes. 3 of 5 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3, 7 points, 4 rebounds, no assist. Though I thought he did kick it out to somebody in the corner for an assist. Oh, he did get with that 1 assist I was talking about. But big Yabu, big BBL. He ain't playing any games. Flea, it looks like Yabu. He's recovering from the BBL. He took the foul.
Yo, chill. I'm not talking about no man's and he's Stop.
You started this. As you
I didn't
can
start
see.
nothing. I just said get the nigga a bigger pair of shorts. That's all I said. And you ran with it.
You usually need a bigger pair of shorts when you have the foul. That's neither here nor there. You see the Knicks controlled the game for the entirety of it, except for the first 30 seconds. 24 was the biggest lead point differential for the Knicks. Look at this. Big New York City skyline out here. That's what we like to see. The Knicks out-rebounded the Raptors. Boy, oh boy, dominant. 66-49. 27 assists to 26. Even in steals, 9 of 9. The Raptors had more blocks, 6-3. 18 turnovers for each team apiece. 45% from the field for the Knicks. 42% for the Raptors. 29% from 3 from the Raptors. 35% from the Knicks. And, of course, the free throws. That killed the Raptors as well, 52%. And that they couldn't get to the free throw line. 75% from us. And that three-point differential, that three-point percentage, that was a big difference because Scotty Barnes in the second quarter, I think Emmanuel Cook in the third quarter just had their own personal 9-0 runs, it felt like. And you see here, fast break points, Toronto killed us 25-11. That's how he kind of stayed in the game. Second chance points, that's how we killed them 22-9. The offensive rebounds, of course, Mitchell Robinson and them. Points in the paint was 48 apiece. So either one dominated in the paint. But guess what? Ain't no scuttlebutt going on over here. Big Flea. Ain't playing no games. Huh? Tore these Raptors up. How you feeling about this victory, Flea Thomas?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. What I always tell you, never too high, never too low. The Knicks on a 4-game winning streak right now. We are 10-1 at the crib. Only 2 teams in the NBA right now with 10+ victories at their cribs. That's us, and that's the Oklahoma City Thunder. So we taking care of business at the crib. It's a hard out when you come to the Garden because we look like we get up to really like bring it to you when we at home, which I love. The crowd is always behind us. All the Knicks fans in the chat tonight, me, you, everybody, we always behind us when we at the crib. And I just like the fact that it seems like we are looking to settle in a little bit. Each night it looks like it's somebody different, right? You know what you're going to get from Jalen Brunson. Obviously, we want Cat to continue to be more and more aggressive. He doesn't look like he's forcing anything, but I would like him to be more aggressive. But as far as the other pieces, right, every night is somebody different. Mikal Bridges having an outstanding night the other night. Now Josh Hart over the last couple games, has just been phenomenal. Josh Hart brought it tonight. The energy, the effort, the offensive rebounding, the defense, the flying around. What did he say at the end of the game? I just be running around. Alan Hansio, what you think? I just be running around. And that's how you get opportunities like he does, right? I think when he does play under control, right, he's settling into his shot now. His shot is really falling, and that's because he's got legs under him now. Maybe that finger is starting to, heal up a little bit better. And, he has a great rhythm. Deuce McBride has just been phenomenal. Deuce McBride, to be honest, I feel like is finding his way into becoming a starter in this league. He is finding a way to become a starter in this league. Deuce McBride plays excellent on both ends of the court. And what I mean by excellent, he's just crafty on the defensive end because he knows where to be. He's playing deep, he's playing passing lanes, and he's strong, right? But then on the offensive end, this dude is just getting better and better from three, just looking more and more confident, being able to shoot the basketball. I love everything that Deuce McBride is bringing to us right now. I can't say enough about Deuce McBride. He's really, really stepping up into his role this season, and I love the energy he's bringing. Mitchell Robinson,
especially as of late, because remember he started before, and we were trying to figure out. We'll talk about that in a second with Mitchell Robinson. But for Deuce he started, and if it didn't feel like it was working, and now you put Josh Hart in the start lineup with him because obviously OG's missing time. Talk about that a little bit more because he's shooting better from the field the last couple games, and just as a starter in general. Before you go into Mitchell Robinson, what is it about Deuce that you're seeing besides just hitting the shots? Maybe it's like, is it confidence? Like, what is it?
Nah, you hit it right on the head, Fabian. It's confidence. It looks like Mike Brown is the one. It looks like Mike Brown is telling him to shoot the ball more, and it looks like guys around him, like Brunson, like Bridges, like Hart, like Cat. It looks like everybody is confident. Like at one point when Deuce McBride had the basketball a couple years ago, maybe his first or second year in the league, and he goes up for a shot, you kind of cringe, or you kind of say, you kind of hold your breath, you gasp, and you're like, I don't know if that's a good shot or bad shot. Is that a shot that Deuce should be taking at all? Now, Deuce is taking shots, and you're like, great shot, Deuce. Whether it goes down or not, he's getting to the rim more. Right, he's not just settling for the three. He's actually mixing it up in the paint. He's working on that floater. That floater is becoming more and more better. Like, I just like the fact that you could look at Deuce McBride's game and tell that he's worked on his game. He's not the same player from last year. He's not the same player from a year ago as a rookie. He's really, really worked on his game. And so extremely impressed with what he's bringing us. Like I said, I thought Mitchell Robinson, 15 big rebounds. We destroyed them on the glass today. 61-40, wasn't it? Didn't we destroy them on the glass? And so
66-49.
66-49. So we just absolutely destroyed them on the glass. created so many second chance opportunities. I just think the Knicks are finding their way slowly but surely. Quietly, we've won 4 in a row, y'all. Quietly. And you can say what you want about who we've played and who we've not. We're starting to try to figure out and set good habits. There was a lot of possessions tonight where I saw guys flying around on the defensive end. We looked better defensively for a whole 48 minutes. Are you going to get this Knicks team to play defense all 48 minutes long? Are there going to be lulls? Absolutely. Scotty Barnes went on a personal 9-0 run, and he hit a couple big shots to get him back in the game. Emmanuel Quickley went on a couple runs, that kept them in the game. But there are far too many times that I see tonight where we were when Toronto got us in rotation, we were there. Like, we were there. Getting a hand up, being able to contest shots, like we were there. They didn't get a ton of wide open 3-pointers. There were some, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, I thought that we were excellent on the defensive end. We didn't allow Scotty Barnes to get comfortable. Brandon Ingram has been playing lights out as of late. We didn't allow him to get comfortable. And we was able to minimize Emmanuel Quickley, a former Knick. So I'm happy with the win. I thought we got good minutes tonight from Kolek. Kolek played really strong tonight. Always looking up ahead. I love his passing ability. And, Brunson didn't have the best night offensively. But again, he creates mismatches. They was trying to blitz him at certain points. That gets them in rotation. And I don't think that Toronto has great rim protection, which now you're blitzing Brunson. He's making the right play every time. And I thought we just got a lot of good shots around the rim today. And, the offense looked good today. So I have zero complaints about us as a team tonight. This is a good win. And, we move on to the next one.
Yeah, I think today was a continuation of the last couple games, just finally just these making progression and having a lot of fun watching them. When you have fun watching them, usually they're having fun. Historically, if you're watching the Detroit Pistons of 20 years ago, it's not necessarily fun because they're just a grindhouse sort of squad. And with this Knicks team, to play defense, we held the Raptors under 100 points. Forgot how much they were averaging for the season, but it just felt like with Scotty Barnes starting to emerge as a top 5 pick, we talked about how why isn't he? What's going on with him? And ever since he said that shit to Quentin Grimes when he was a Knick, like you not him. It's like, bro, you ain't him.
Not him.
Who you talking to? Like, you a top 5 draft pick. You not him. And we were watching Quentin Grimes, and we have no problem criticizing him, bro. If he was, if he wasn't like that, we would say so. And Scotty Barnes has emerged from that, maybe not being the offensive threat that I don't know how he played in college, but a big body like that, he's looking like a grown man. He came in the league with a grown man body. That's what it is. And now he's figuring out defensively. I think he was tied for the league in stocks or whatever, the combination of steals and blocks. That's cool, but that's finesse style shit to me. I see him. You can't just back him down. So for him to emerge with like that, and let's be okay with them being on a run. See, that's the thing. They beat Cleveland the other day, even though they lost to who did we say it was yesterday? Or Charlotte. They lost to Charlotte. That's a big loss.
In overtime.
Raptors played on a back-to-back. So they went to overtime, like you said. That's a major playing 6 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. These are all things where you go, we got to take advantage of this team. And to King's Speech's point, yes, we do have to love and laud when we do beat down the teams we're supposed to beat down the way we're beating them down. That's big. That's what championship teams do. Yes, we still have that in the back of our minds. At least I do. We do. We know Flea isn't going to talk about no damn championship yet. But that's what's in the back of our minds when you beat down somebody like this, because you guys are not ready. You have to separate them, separate the class. Bro, you don't rebound like this. We have championship characteristics about us. You guys are way too young, the Raptors. We should be able to fool you, out-experience you. And we saw that with Josh Hart today. We saw that with Josh Hart, the guy who goes up, he's up and down, We get it. He had 2 turnovers back to back that I was like, but to your point of what we were on the phone, Tyler Kolek, with all these minutes in the second quarter, I didn't think Cat was aggressive enough, being the number 1 option with Jalen Brunson sitting down and Kolek is the point guard. And Flea said, yo, you got to sit Kolek down because you just gave up 9 points to Scotty Barnes. What are you doing on the other end to at least keep it in balance to bring the starting lineup back in there? Bro, we were up 20. What's going on? Now, Josh Hart comes in second, third quarter. He set the tone like none other in this game, I believe. I think he set the tone with his heart and all that, but more so just playmaking, being disciplined. Brunson spoke to it at the end of last game, but he was saying, well, there's sometimes he's overthinking things. And lately he's been thinking about things too much. So when you saw last game, I forgot who we beat last game. The Bucks. When you see him play like that, it's because
letting it fly, bro.
Right.
What did I say to you on the phone? He had the ball on like the right wing, and Cat came over to set a screen. And usually he'll come off that screen and try to go downhill, or usually come off that screen and like throw like a skip pass to the corner or something like that. He came off that screen and stepped back, took a 3. I was like, ooh. But that was confidence. That wasn't nothing about like he felt good. He was in a rhythm. He was like, yo, this is a shot that I could hit. And he hit a couple more of those throughout the game. So like if you playing unconscious, right, and not overthinking it, right, letting it fly, shooting it with confidence, yo, shots are gonna fall. Shots are gonna fall. And when shots are falling for you, Josh Hart, that's a plus. That's a plus. Like,
is it a plus? Like, speak to that, because is it a plus when, not that we expected, but when Dante DiVincenzo was here, it was like Josh Hart was going crazy in the playoffs, hitting his 3-point shots. And we know we heard a lot about with the finger getting messed up. And maybe he's getting used to his finger being okay now. He's getting more comfortable with that. And he's a guy who fights through pain. You know, I always compare him to Russell Westbrook because they are these Wolverine type. Josh Hart's always falling on the floor. Looks like he broke his knee in half, and he get bloody face. All of a sudden, he's playing like nothing ever happened. So now he's the same guy, has to get used to whatever pain threshold, and now he's there. Speak to that about Josh Hart. Like, is it a plus that he's hitting the shot, or is it a plus just like the way he's moving? Because you could tell when somebody's confident or not. And 12 rebounds, like, it just didn't feel like that. It just felt like he was going out there playing ball. What have you noticed anything differently about him on either end of the court to say, all right, the 3-point shot is a plus? Plus what though? What is it a plus of?
I mean, I think it's being contagious to his whole entire game. The fact that his shots is falling, now it's like I'm playing tough defense. Now I'm becoming like that Draymond role where I'm assisting and playmaking, right? Like I think all of those things are becoming infectious when his shots are falling. Now I'm just playing free. When I play tight and I don't know how I'm going to be effective on the court, like he said I was awful in the Pacers series in the Eastern Conference Finals. He said I was bad. And the first 5 games of the season, you could go back to Josh Hart of this season saying, yo, I've been bad, right? So he knows how to take accountability and say, yo, I don't have it, or I'm not making the right reads, or I'm not doing this or doing that. But when he's at the top of his game, that Swiss Army knife that just playing, at an elite level, like I think he's the best role player in the league. Find me another role player that you could potentially get a triple-double from. Find me another role player that's going to defend the best player on the opposing team and take the matchup on. Find me another role player that doesn't care about minutes and how long I'm gonna play and what I'm gonna do with my men. Like, find me another role player that plays the way he does when he's at the top of his game. And I'm saying role play. I'm talking about guys that come off the bench. You don't expect them to be a 1, 2, or 3 guy. This is a guy that I'm giving you everything, and it's like icing on the cake, right? Remember what I said before, Fabian. When we get into a position where he has to be like this every single night, and that dictates if we win or lose, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But I think you have to look at this and say, this may be part of who we are. This may be like, as we're trying to develop this new identity, we might be one of them teams that's just like, yo, fuck it. This Knicks team is deep now. Now it ain't just strictly relying on 5 guys. Now we look at this Knicks team and we're like, yo, this Knicks team is deep, super deep. So, I think it's just infectious. And it's he's just playing some good basketball over the last 5 or so games.
Keeping your eyes on the prize, baby Bubba. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Y'all know what this was.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, yeah.
ALLBALL TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.